Hey everyone, this is Talkative Carl. I'm just doing like a brief video. I've been wanting to do this for a minute, but I keep end up forgetting, again bogged down in other stuff that I'm working on. But I want to make a brief video talking about a superhero book that I written years ago. On here, called the Epic Tales of the Emerald Avenger. Yeah, so I wanted like I always liked writing. Oh, I'm always been a creative guy, and I love comics. I still love comics. More specifically, Spider-Man, which was like an inspiration of the story. And there's other stuff that like I'm still trying to work on again, like you know, real good publishers. Not the one like I had, who get this together years ago, because they I didn't do enough research back uh in a day, because I thought publishing places would be all legitimate, but no, not everyone is. You really have to do some serious research in order to find you know uh check out reviews and look into like other successful published authors, and you know what uh publishing house they went to, because 9 times out of 10 those are the ones that you probably should be looking into, because you might run into scam artists or people who try to eke out more money from you with little in return uh on your end while they get paid. Not to saying publishing places have to make money, but it's like there's appropriate tit for tat going on, if you know what I mean. Excuse me. Why am I still stuffy? Anyway, uh, just a brief summary. Uh, this is the superhero, of course, his name Emerald Avenger, just after my favorite color. Uh, Real name Marcus Hunter, a young adult who's trying to get his life back on track for the sake of his parents, only for tragedy to strike. Marcus winds up with abilities in the wake of this, along with CEO of Drexel Industries, Drake William, who has plans of his own for Chicago. Guided by his friends, Marcus uses his powers to help others and to make the city better. But is Marcus up for the task? Can he rise to the occasion and be the symbol of the people, or will he crash and burn? And yeah, his superpowers, I figured, why not go with something? Because yeah, it's a bit inspired. Uh, uh, a little bit of Spider-Man and somewhat of Green Lantern, because this is gonna be building. This is like a basis of a big uh kind of saga with multiple kind of people, because like currently these are different genres. This is like how do I put it, this was the seed that will be planted that sprouts up other stuff that come about it in some shape or form. uh like this is like a typical superhero thing, but there'll be other stories that I've worked on that I wanted to get published, or at least working on getting published, uh, that come about from this. There's a supernatural story that like I finished, long since finished writing, but never got it published yet. And then I'm only like halfway done. It's been a while since I went back to it, but halfway done with like a spy type of a book with a different leading person. Each person has like a different leading person. Each book has a different leading person, and there's like a fourth leading person. There's like four in this kind of team group that I want to build off of, with them eventually come together in like subsequent like team ups, and uh, that's something that really like a part of my goal. Of course, I still want to do voice acting, but like when that spirals into something I can do, like along with YouTube and Twitch, but voice acting is like something I want to do as like a main career, and I had to put like the writing on like bench it for a while because I got a day job to do to help like pay bills and stuff like that, and of course I got this the YouTube thing going on, and then and trying to do like get the voice actor thing up and running. There's leave little enough time for me to actually, because I'll be spreading myself too thin. Something had to fall by the wayside for at least temporarily. Excuse me. Ultimately, my goal is to have like the voice acting thing become like the main focus of a career, but and then like I can leave the 9 to 5 thing in the past, and then that frees up some time to work on my writing. So that way, because I don't want to do the 9 to 5 job, the typical 9 to 5 job for the rest of my life. That's not what I want to do. I'm a creative person. I want to get like my imaginations out there, for you all to enjoy whichever way you choose to enjoy it. And yeah, this honestly is like my baby, actually. Like, I drew this concept, this character, while I was in college, and I eventually used it because it's like seriously like Photoshop, Illustrator, Adobe thing, and I built upon that to make this book. I mean, you can, if you want to, all my subscribers and viewers out there, if you're curious and want to read this book, it's not that big of a book. Is only 119 pages, so it's a relatively quick read. But I hope to like keep bettering myself as like writing goes on, and so yeah, the character is like learning as he's like what it is to be a superhero, and and fight for the people. And obviously I use a lot of like certain stuff like the MCU or My Hero Academia as like excuse me, getting stuffy, as like building blocks off of this world that I'm building, because like I'm not a fan of stuff like Invincible or The Boys, where it's like, oh, realistic superhero, what? Like they all are dickheads or selfish or whatever. Like, I personally don't believe that. I don't subscribe to that. I know it's supposed to be satire, but it's like certain cynical people like to feed off of that and thinking like, the world sucks, and there's no hope in the fucking world at all. And I see My Hero Academia as like the closest thing personally I feel is like realistic heroes would be. Yeah, some would monetize it. I'm not gonna shame any hero who does that. It's like Zatanna from DC Comics. She's a literal stage magician who uses her powers to entertain the crowd, but yes, make a living. So I'm not going to, poo-poo that. But like every Superman esque kind of character gotta be Homelander or Omni Man. I seriously doubt that if they been around decent people and raised, maybe not like the Kents, but somewhere close to it to uh, uh, do right by people. It's just like that's why I like I like the MCU. I like I like DC as well, and as well as My Hero Academia, or at least a few other stuff like One Punch Man and stuff like that, used as like a basics to build off at least this particular uh, hero's world and his bubble. But then the Supernatural book that I wrapped up writing a long time ago that haven't got published yet. I use a lot of like supernatural as characters to as a base for that. Uh, just for example. So, uh, if you want to support uh, my writing and hopefully I can uh, use funds to like sort of like not like a traditional Kickstarter, but it's like something to akin to that. But you can find Epic Tales of the Emerald Avenger on Barnes and Nobles and Amazon website. You can purchase it. It's just like close to like $10. It's not like not gonna break a wallet, but that massive support would be greatly appreciated, and hopefully that will lead to like certain funds, like getting the next book off the ground. Because eventually, all these different lead characters in these 4 different books will eventually come together in like in my mind's eye, like an ultimate team up to fight something big. Because there's like a overarching plot that eventually will feed into each of these stories. Because it's like I have like at least in my mind's eye have 3 different stories for each of these particular 4 heroes that will eventually lead into overall team up. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to make a video talking about that. I've been wanting to do this to let you guys know, since I have a decent amount of subscribers and viewer counts, and I figured that you guys would be like interested to know that I am a writer as well as a voice actor. But I really love writing this, and hopefully I can get back into writing more of this stuff to like make a larger world. So yeah, definitely check out Epic Tales of the Emerald Avenger. Like I said, it's on Barnes and Nobles and Amazon website, and it's more like that stuff to come. And yeah, it's like not necessarily my first book, but I'm not very proud of my first book. But if you're curious, that book, technically my first book is On the Couch with God, but it is like writing is like definitely like something like I had to learn. Like there's like other components that I had to like that I realized there's more to it than just writing stuff on a page. But it's like obviously like proofreading and all the other stuff. But this one actually was more proud of. So yeah, definitely check out Epic Tales of the Emerald Avenger. Once again, Barnes and Nobles, Amazon website, just $10. If you have it, that'd be great. But yeah, it's a cool story. Chicago-based superhero. Because I really want like other stuff that's not like geared towards like New York all the time. Because it's like a lot of superhero stuff is like centered around. I know like the writers are New York-based people, so of course they're gonna write characters that's based in New York. But it's like there's other cities because like the next character that's the supernatural, who's dealing with like the supernatural. Uh, I'm blanking on where he's based, but he's like, the crux of the fight he's dealing with, is in like San Francisco, California, something like that. And or he's just like he goes from place to place for the most part, so he's not like grounded in one particular area all the time. But yeah, so it'd be great for you guys to check that out, and hopefully, once the voice actor thing spirals into, like at least quite a few jobs that pay decently well. That way, I can like at least turn my 9 to 5 job into like a flex job where I can work at least a few days of my choosing wherever's available, then like dedicate my bulk of my time with writing, YouTube, and voice acting. So that way, because like I said, I'm a creative guy. I like, I got so much stuff in my head that I need to get out, and and most of it is for you guys as well as for me. So, yeah, that's it. So I will see you guys later on. Eventually, I'll have some comic book review to get up and running for you guys. So